Thanks for joining me on my next video. In this video I'm going to show you a quick hack to install some rollers on a QuickJack system, which will make it a lot easier to maneuver the QuickJack once it's on the floor. This model here is the 7000 TL, and this side here is where you would typically pick it up, and it's got rollers on the other end. Once it's on the ground, it's very hard to move back and forth to slide it. You need some power, so it does come with these particular two of these, one for each side, I guess. As you can see, it's got a U shape underneath. The idea is to hook it onto the frame and then push and pull as you need it, but it's not that easy, and as you can tell, I haven't even taken it out of the package, so I don't think I'll ever be opening up those. What I've done instead is I purchased 8 rollers, 1 inch. These are 1 inch rollers, and this is the product I purchased. Make sure it's right side up. I just bought those on Amazon. Okay, so also what I have is 11-inch zip ties and double-sided tape. So what I'm going to do is just where the frame touches the ground, I'm going to install these. So pretty much they're resting on the wheel. Anywhere around here will be fine. I'll measure that distance. As long as when it starts to lift, it's out of the way. But while it's all the way down, it's on the rollers, which will allow me to freely maneuver the jack without much effort. So I'm going to do that both on the right-hand side of the jack and the left-hand side. When I say left-hand side, it's the side which has the handle, and the right-hand side here is the back where the hose is connected. So I'm going to flip this over. I got some padding on the ground. Yes, it's dirty. I use that for doing work. Flip it over. Just don't want to scratch it, and we'll work on it from underneath. So before I do that, I'm just going to take a measurement, and I'll let you know what that measurement is. I don't want to put it too close here because then the jack's going to stay up, which might cause a problem if I'm trying to take it out of the car. So I want to go far enough down so that way, you know, I'm able to remove the jack from the car afterwards if I do have a low vehicle. So I'm just going to do a quick measurement, find out what the best spot for it is, flip it over, and then we'll continue from there. Okay, so I'm just cleaning the surface here on the jack with some rubbing alcohol. After I do that, I'll do the wheel as well. I'm going to eyeball it here 5 inches, but I'll just clean quite a bit of it just to make sure I got a good portion clean so the double-sided tape sticks on nicely. Okay, so with that clean, I'm going to proceed to clean each individual roller and then put the double-sided tape on. Okay, it's kind of hard holding the camera and cleaning the rollers, but what I'm going to actually do off camera, I'm just demonstrating you where I'm going to clean because that's where I'm going to put the double-sided tape. Okay, so with the jack itself cleaned with some rubbing alcohol and dried up, I also did the wheels as well, cleaned over here with some rubbing alcohol. They're dry. What I've done is I cut a piece of 3M tape. I'm not sure if I showed you this earlier, but here's the tape. It's just some 3M tape here, double-sided tape. That's what it looks like. And what I've done here is basically just cut a piece, mounted it onto the wheel, and I'm going to proceed to just trim that off around the wheel with a knife. Okay, so I've got the double-sided tape on both sides, trimmed it with the scissors, and what I'm going to do now is measure up my 5 inches from here, center, and then just glue that down, and then put my 2 tie wraps, one on each side, my zip ties, sorry. Okay, I think we're okay even if we were to overhang on either side. I think it's okay, it's not going to get in the way of anything. So let's proceed to do that. Okay, so I peeled the plastic off the other side of the tape. I put a little marking there just so I know I measured out 5 inches. And I'm going to just stick that on like so. Press it down. Okay. And just to show you, that's exactly where I want to put it. My 5 inches from center of this hole here to center of my wheel. So there you go, 5 inches. Okay, now that I've got that on, I'm going to proceed to put my zip ties. Okay, so I just started the zip ties, and I'm just going to squeeze them and tighten them around the end here, just nice and tight. I haven't tightened it yet, just getting it in place. Apologies, doing this with one hand and filming. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I think that's pretty tight. Okay, so that's it. Nice and tight. Hopefully this wheel doesn't move anywhere. I'll tighten this a bit more and then I'll just cut these off. Okay, so I did the other side of the back where the hose is. And same thing, 5 inches from the center of here. I put the 3M tape on both sides of the wheel. And I put the zip ties. 3M tape's probably not going to hold it, but it's just there just to help me keep it in place while I zip tied it. I'm hoping, you know, the zip ties does do the trick in terms of keeping this thing from coming out or moving. Okay, so for the front, you don't want it too close to here, and because there's this bracket here, you can't get zip ties anywhere around here. So if you go too close to here, then this is going to be a problem because that has to sit and rest on the ground as you lift the jack, and I'm going to show you that here. This jack is partially lifted. As you can see, this part needs to stay on the ground as the jack starts to raise. That's the front of the jack. Okay, so you can't put the wheel here. It's got to be somewhere around here, just past this, so you can put your zip ties. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it just past there so I can put my zip ties, and hopefully that should work out. Once it's all the way down, it should rest on the wheel, and I'll show you that on the other side. As you can see here with the jack all the way down, if I put the wheel just around here, it should be fine. So as the jack starts to lift, this will come off the ground, and this will stay on the ground where it's supposed to for the front of the jack. Okay, so let's proceed to mount that here on this jack. Okay, so this is about 9 inches from the center of the pipe here. That's where I'm going to mount it, roughly 9 inches. And that should give me enough clearance to get a zip tie on both the right side and the left side. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so here's the wheel mounted on the front of the jack. As I indicated, about 9 inches from the center here. And here are the 2 zip ties, and it's secured in place. And I'm going to proceed to do that on the other side. Then I'll show you, flip it over and show you how easy it rolls, and then I'll just jack it up and show you that the wheels do get out of the way once it starts to lift, and the jack will be secured on the ground properly. Okay, so I've got all 4 wheels mounted. The ones in the front, as I indicated, are about 9 inches from the end on the right hand side. You can tell the front of the jack because that's where the handle is. The back of the jack, they're about 5 inches from this side here. And the back of the jack, you can tell based on where the hoses are. Okay, so with the 4 wheels installed in the location indicated earlier, I flipped the jack back over. As you can see, I'm able to maneuver the jack forward, backward, inward, outward with minimal effort. And you can see the wheels where they're mounted. This is the back of the jack, 5 inches from here. And there's the front of the jack. As you can see, the wheels right here. Once I start to raise the jack, the wheels are off the ground. The jack is secured onto the floor. No issues. Now I'll lower it. Okay, good. So there's the jack all the way down. Now it's resting back on the wheels. Once again, I'm able to maneuver it. So I just want to point out one more thing that I did do. I did notice that one of the wheels did come loose after I was dragging it around for a bit. So all I'm doing is putting another zip tie between the 2 zip ties that are across the bar here. And I'm going to do the same over here if I can get it in here. I'll do that on all 4 of them. And hopefully that'll keep the zip ties from moving. What I've done is I purchased 8-inch zip ties. They don't have 6. 6 would have been sufficient. I couldn't find 6, and 4 is too small. So I'm just going to put these zip ties like that and tighten them up and hold it in place. So that's a quick hack to get your make your jack a lot easier to maneuver. Just putting these 4 wheels on the underside of the jack. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Thanks for joining me. Please give this video a like and subscribe, and see you soon.